All right, so the science of getting rich. My name is Dan Brock, the Deadbeat Super Affiliate, and before we begin, make sure you join the Deadbeat Revolution today by ticking that subscribe button underneath this video. All right, so in this video, we're going to talk about the difference between active income and passive income and why doctors and lawyers are the most likely to go bankrupt during retirement. And while on the flip side, some janitors can retire millionaires. All right, with that said, let's jump right on in and get to, I'm stuck, the good stuff. Here we go. All right, Deadbeats, so the science of getting rich. So over the years, I've learned that there is a game of money. So the people that become wealthy in life basically understand how money works and how to use money to create more money. Now, we've all heard of those stories of, the NFL players make all this money and they end up like in debt, like 20 million to the banks. Here's why. Basically, they never taken the time to understand the difference between active and passive income, and they make some poor choices, and I'll talk about this in a second. But first, let's talk about active income. So this is basically any type of money you have to actively work for. So let's say you have a job, you make 60 grand a year, that is active income. On the flip side of things, let's say you have a brain surgeon. Even though they're making $500,000 to $1 million per year, a brain surgeon is still actively working for the money, so that's considered active income. The moment he stops doing surgeries is the moment he stops making money. Another example of this would be certain types of businesses. So let's go with a pizza shop as a good example. Unless the business is highly systemized, which if you're running a pizza shop, unless it's like a franchise, it's probably not. If you're going in every day, even though you're in control, it's your business, you're still working for active income. So certain types of businesses are also active. Another example, I just use this, the NFL player. Even though the NFL player is making literally like 10 million or more per year, because he has to actively work for it, it's active income. Now, there are exceptions to that, like he has royalties from endorsements and all that, but the majority of the income is active income, and unless the person is really, really business savvy. So all of these are examples of active income. Now, on the flip side of things, we have what is known as passive income, and no one takes the time to learn about this. We don't learn about this in school, or if you do learn about it, it's just like a brief passing over. So this is from Straight Outta Rich Dad, Poor Dad, but I'm gonna put my own little twist on it. You have two types of passive income. You have what are known as assets. This is basically anything that produces income. So an asset could be, we'll talk about that in a second. And the other thing is this is kind of like anti-passive income, and those are liabilities. So society, especially in America, basically has conditioned us since birth is that when we get an increase in income, we're supposed to proportionally increase our quality of life. So we get caught in these traps, and luckily I learned this early on with one of my first businesses. It's very easy to get caught into this thing. So we're conditioned since birth to buy stuff that we really don't need. So what happens is the NFL player, he gets his $10 million first year check. He immediately goes out and buys a house for like his mom, because some of the NFL players live in poverty for life. So they're like, all right, mom, I'm gonna get you the house. This is a very common story. So they go out and they buy like a mansion for their mom. They just look at the monthly payments. They're like, oh, it's only 20 grand a month. No big deal, I can handle it. Now they start getting into this liability trap. So they're like, okay, we just got my mom the 20K per month mansion. Now I need one for myself. So they go out and drop 20 G's for that. All is good, but now because they're stuck into this lifestyle trap, it's basically a trap, they start buying all kinds of other crap they don't need. So they start getting Lamborghinis, they start buying their friends expensive gifts, suits, dropping 10K at clubs, $1,000 per day at dinner. Money goes quick. So along with that, they forget that there's usually taxes. So when you get your $10 million, you're not thinking that it's only 5 afterwards. So they got 5 million now, the first year. They've already racked up 200K a month in fixed expense. You can't quickly get rid of it. So they've already lost half their income. So that's half of that's gone. And before long, the money goes quick. You've heard the story over and over again. They start getting caught in these collectible things. They buy fancy artwork. It's easier to happen than you think. If you've never experienced a windfall of cash, it's hard, you can't really understand how difficult this is. So you got to avoid the liability side of things. So even a house, even if you go out and buy a house, even if it's 250K, that's still considered a liability because you have to shell out money every month for mortgage, repairs, roof replacements. You got property tax. All of these things mean negative passive income or anti-passive income. So we're taught to focus on this type of stuff. You know, we want the status as far as when we own these items, we get the status increase, but you have to condition your mind to avoid that type of thinking. And instead, take your active income and start producing a money-making machine. So you do that by focusing on income-producing assets. So what are those? These could be, for example, real estate. So you buy like a 3-bedroom house, it's $250K, but you're buying it with the intent to rent it out. So you've learned that over the $250K cost, you can then, you know, rent it out and make, you know, let's say $2,500 a month after expenses. You know, it might take you 15 years to pay off the house, but then after that, you have an income producing asset for life. So that's an example of one. Another example would be like a very secure and stable stock. So these are all those blue chip stocks that have been around for a long time, very proven business model, you know, like certain things like American Express, Coca-Cola, maybe some Apple would be getting close to that now because that's pretty much cemented in. Basically things that have been around for a very long time. Johnson & Johnson. Now don't invest in that right now, like look that up and do the numbers. But stocks are another example. Now, here's the trick. There's a couple points of this I want to talk about now. First of all, with passive income, you do not want to take risk. You cannot risk losing any of your money because that is like your legacy. So you want to aim for a 5 to 10% return. Now, some people might say this is a bit conservative, but you want secure, indestructible wealth. Now, obviously with any investment, there's risk. But what's also even more risky is not investing and blowing it all on liabilities. Like that is a 100% fail rate. So you have to assume some risk, but even when you don't invest, you're risking anyway because you got like a 2% inflation rate. So you're already losing money by not doing this. So 5 to 10% return. Some more riskier bonds can get you that, you know, like municipals. So you got bonds, you can add that to the basket. So yeah, think about that. Now here's the other trick. If it were as easy just to take money and start investing in passive income, everyone would be doing it. What's easy is to buy, you know, cool, flashy stuff and looking cool. It takes time to learn about income producing assets. You can lose money and there's risk like I talked about. So you're gonna have to learn up. Personally, I've spent so far a good amount of time learning about stocks and bonds. It doesn't really do it for me. Like I like to have enjoyment out of it. I'm definitely profitable on this side of things, but I think I'm gonna focus more on real estate investment. So I want to give that a shot. I know from experience I should just focus on one or the other, but I think real estate's kind of more up my alley. I don't know, something about it just seems more interesting to me. So look for a 5 to 10% return. Typically real estate, you can get a little bit higher return. I'm not an expert at this, but you know, you can probably stretch it out to 15% cash on cash. So keep that in mind. You can also scale real estate a little bit quicker. So that's just my thoughts on this. Passive income, very, very important. Start thinking about this now. Even if your active income isn't so great, you have to start learning about passive income and thinking about it, at least thinking about it. Now, if your general rule of thumb here on the side note, you want to be able to live off of 10% of your income. So right now, I'm very lean. I've learned over the years to run very lean. Like I don't upgrade at all. I'm making a bunch of money right now. People are always like, "Oh, you're so freaking rich. Why do you film in that crappy office?" Because I understand the difference between an asset and a liability. So you got to get to the point where you're living on 10% of your monthly income, anywhere between 10 to 30%. You're in a good shape. You want to get it down to 10% if you can. So personally, if I have to do the numbers, I'm way below it. So 10% is where I'm at. You have to be lean. If you want to win the game of money, you have to be lean. So all that said, as far as affiliate marketing is concerned, it's somewhere in the middle here. So it's not quite active, it's not quite passive. So it has a passive income element to it because I make plenty of passive income, like I'm making money, I'm not doing anything. It's just not indestructible. And it typically has like a per income stream, a 3 to 5 year life stream or lifespan. So it's not entirely indestructible, so I wouldn't put it all the way over to income producing asset, although you can argue this. So affiliate marketing's in the middle. The good thing about it is that you can scale it up and it has passive income elements to it. And you can take that money and take it and invest in stocks or real estate if you want to. That's personally what I'm doing. So affiliate marketing is kind of like in the middle. It's kind of its own class. I definitely recommend it though. So with all that said, just keep all this in mind as far as affiliate marketing is concerned. If you want to start with that and get kind of best of both worlds, I do have a free guide that you can access. The link will be below. It's 100% free. It just shows you step by step how to start an affiliate marketing income stream online from scratch. So check that out. All right, with all that said, let me know what you think. Also, a question for you. Are you actively doing this? I know it's easy to say, oh, I understand, but ask yourself right now in your life, how much of your income are you spending on your monthly expenses? Are you blowing it all? I know a lot of people running at like 80 to 90% is being spent on life expenses. So think about it. Think about ways you can start getting that number down so you can then take that gap, that difference in that gap there, and use that to start investing into passive income. All right, so with all that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, join the Deadbeat Revolution today by hitting the circle subscribe button at the bottom left of this video. Also, check out more videos on my channel here. It's all about making money online. My name is Dan Brock, the Deadbeat Super Affiliate. See you deadbeats later.